is using the elimination process in the sense that we're going to try to get rid of one of the variables. And again, you can see it's a 3x3 equation. We have 3 equations, 3 variables. And we're going to try to get rid of one of these variables, whether it be x, y, or z. In this case, we're going to start out, we're going to use the first 2 problems we're going to use. We're going to take and I shouldn't say put, use the word pit. We're going to pit, okay, these 2 equations against one another. And in doing that, I want to try to find a way that I can eliminate one of the variables. And typically, we're going to look to try to eliminate z. And so if I'm looking at this equation, then I'm going to first look at 5x minus 2y plus z equals 13. And I'm pitting it against the equation 2x plus y equals, 2x plus y plus z equals 1. So how can I get this taken care of so that I can eliminate one of these? Well, if I look at my z, my variable z, if I can turn one of these into a negative, then that would be like saying negative 1z and positive 1z, and then those would cancel out to 0. So I'm going to do that by just simply multiplying, and that's the whole thing. You look at it and go, okay, how can I get rid of one? All right, and if you, as long as you multiply all terms, then the equation will hold true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this entire equation by negative 1. And why negative 1? Because that just happens to be, if I use negative 1, in the end, when I multiply that by z, I'm going to get the negative z, and it's going to eliminate it. So this is where you have to kind of be creative, and you have to think, okay, what number can I use? So there is no set number. You have to determine that. It's not just standing out there for you. You're not going to be able to go and search it out somewhere. You have to determine what that is. And then you have to keep in mind that as long as you multiply all the terms, then it's going to work out. And your terms are 5x, 2y, z, and 13. Okay, so there's 4 terms in there. So I'm going to rewrite this equation now. And I'm going to rewrite it over here. And I'm going to say, okay, negative 5x, because negative 1 times 5x gives me negative 5x. And then negative 1 times negative 2y makes that plus 2y, and then negative 1, because I'm factoring, right? Negative 1 times z gives me a negative z, because that z is positive. And then I have to also make sure that I come all the way down here and take negative 1 times 13, so that's going to equal negative 13. And so now what I'll do is I'll write my second equation once again, and then I'm going to, at that point, start my problem. So then 2x plus y plus z equals 1. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve this. And I'm just going to say, okay, negative 3x plus 2y plus y is 3y. And then you can see my z's cancel, right? Negative and a positive z, those cancels. So then this whole thing is going to equal negative 12. Well, now I want to look at this for a minute, because that would normally be done, but I need to simplify it. And if I take a look at this, I can see that I can simplify, because all of these are, when I look at it, so here's where I'm at, right? Negative 3x plus 3y equals negative 12, okay? Right, that's what that is right there. But I can take, in fact, and simplify all of these by 3. And this only works if I can simplify all of the terms. And since 3 goes into all of these terms, this now becomes a 1. And this becomes a 1. And then 3 goes into negative 12 4 times. So I end up with negative x plus y equals negative 4. Okay? And so now I have undergone the first step, right? This whole thing here was step 1. This whole problem was step 1. All right? And I can see that in doing this, I have eliminated the z that was in these equations. Okay? I eliminated this. And once eliminating it, this is what I'm left with. And so I need to keep track of that, okay? Because I'm going to need that here in a little while. So I'm going to say that step 1, okay, it produced, after eliminating the z, it produced negative x plus y equaled negative 4, okay? And I'm going to need this here in a little while, so I need to keep track of that. All right, so I'm going to stop here at step 1. We'll do the next video that will be step 2. Take a look at this and see how it worked out. Again, I just picked 2 of the 3 equations, and I determined a way to eliminate z. And then when I solved for that, I ended up with what I have left here at step 1. You can see in the upper right corner in purple where it says step 1, and that comes out to negative x plus y equals negative 4.